Hey guys, it's Mario here, coming at you from awesome Sofia here in Bulgaria. And I want to talk to you a bit about binge eating. And this is a question that I've been getting a lot. And it seems to be something that is preventing a lot of people from achieving their results, from getting the best shape of their life, from getting shredded, ripped. It seems to be that there's a pattern with a lot of people where just that one binge or that session escalates into a whole week of binging, and it wipes out literally months worth of results because of that one single mistake that triggered it all. So I wanted to create a video for you guys, and this is really what inspired me, is because I'm seeing that a lot of the pain out there, a lot of problems that people are having are problems that I've used to have, and are problems that a lot of my clients used to have. And I really think binge eating is something that needs to be addressed, and I'm going to share with you guys 3 tips that you can apply right now to avoid these 3 critical mistakes, which will pretty much solve 80% of any kind of binge eating stuff that is happening. So let's start off with the number 1 mistake that I see people make when it comes to binge eating. So it all comes down to the fact that we think that that one binge, that one event, that one single day has more value, has more impact than it actually does. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it for a second. So one healthy meal, will that meal make you ripped? I was just gonna eat this salad and I was like, bam, shredded, right? Not gonna happen, right? Same as that 400-pound person or that 300-pound person that you see going for the 8th time at the buffet that night, and they're like walking on and they can barely walk and in a wheelchair. They didn't get there because they ate one buffet like that. It's not one night that got them there. It's a whole process. It's years and years of doing things wrong that resulted in them being 300 pounds. Same for that person that is completely shredded. That person invested years into working on that area of their life. So it's a process, it's not an event. And we forget this. We think black and white. When emotions gets involved, we just instantly forget that that one single day, even if you had 5,000 extra calories above your current diet, whatever that is, there's a lot of things happening there where a lot of those calories are just gonna get burnt off. Thermic effect of food, you're just gonna fidget a little bit more, you're gonna become more active. Bam, like a lot of those calories don't even get stored. Like worst case scenario, I'd say on average people, even if they go super crazy, they might gain like half a pound to a pound of fat. Is that really a big deal? That's just another extra week of dieting. That's like the worst case scenario that I've seen. I mean, you're not gonna go out and eat like 40,000 calories, right? It's usually gonna be something small, maybe a whole meal, maybe a whole day of cheating, but it's still not gonna be something crazy where you eat tens of thousands of calories. So it's not something to worry about. And that's the first thing, is really get out of this black and white thinking and think more of the process. What do I do on a day-to-day basis? What do I do on a consistent basis? That's what's gonna make most of the impact. It's not about one day, it's not about one meal, it's not about one event, it's not about eating the most healthiest meal and getting the best workout once. No, you gotta keep doing that day after day until you reach your goal. And it's all about that compound effect, right? So that's the first thing. Don't forget that it's not about the event, it's about the process. It's always about the process, okay? The second thing, and I see this and I'm a little bit pissed off with this, right? So this is the second biggest mistake that I would say people make when it comes to binging, and it's kind of the Instagram world and like these freaking yoga girls or whatever they call themselves, nutrition experts, they come out and they say, oh, just ignore it. Just forget it. You know, like it didn't happen. Like that's probably the worst piece of advice you could ever get when it comes to binging. Just forget it. Like, don't think it ever happened. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm reading these posts on Instagram, I'm thinking like, what the hell are you talking about? If you make something like that is a mistake, that you're falling off track, you're making an error, the last thing you want to do is actually ignore the error. You want to learn from it. Like, you want to see what is the chain reaction, what triggered the chain reaction. Was it something that maybe in my house I had chocolate covered pretzels or something, you know, something that is a trigger food for you. Maybe that day I was super stressed out. Maybe something happened that day that led to me getting in this situation where I fell off track. And if you just keep ignoring it, you know, if you just like stick your head down in the ground, what's going to happen? Well, you're not going to learn anything from it. So that experience, that failure, it's a waste. You don't want to make it a waste, right? You want to learn from it. That's the biggest thing I would say, is like, an idiot is only an idiot if you make 4 or 5 same mistakes in a row without ever considering, without having any kind of self-awareness of why it actually happened. Even if you do binge once a month, every time, and if you every time just analyze it and fix it and learn something and you fix it, guess what? In a couple of months, you will never ever have to deal with this again. Because now you know how to do it, you know how to deal with it, you know how to fix it. And that's really what it's all about. It is about learning why you did it and making that correction, okay? The third thing I would say, it actually comes down to a combination of mindset, and also comes down to a combination of how you think about generally being on track. So what does it mean being on track, and what does it really mean to be successful? Well, one of the most important traits when it comes to sticking to your diet, whether it's just low calorie, high calorie, whatever it is the ability to bounce back fast. So that's one of the things that I see with my most successful clients. Let's say they go traveling, you know, they just really go and they just can't manage any of this. Well, maybe you fall off track for 1 or 2 days, but they're so eager to start again. You know, they're so excited to start again because they're thinking, I'm just getting more motivated to crush it again, right? So they don't let that one day turn into multiple days turn into multiple weeks, weeks turn into months, and then all of a sudden you're no longer sticking to the plan. Instead, what you do is like you take the opportunity to practice bouncing back as fast as possible. So you learned your lesson, step 2, step 3, bam, you're on it. Don't let the day turn into a week. Don't let the week turn into a month. That's where real trouble starts, is when that one event turns into a day, and that day turns into a week, that turns into a month, and then all of a sudden you feel super, super bad about yourself, because that 1 month, guess what? That is enough to wipe out all of your results that you had in the last 6 months. But just eating an extra bag or something doesn't really do any difference. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Think about having a deficit of 3,500 calories in a week. And let's say, okay, there's a box of cookies there. So there's like this massive box of cookies. And you had the one cookie, right? And people are like, damn it, I had the cookie, you know. I blew my diet. You know, like, I had the freaking cookie, my diet is over. The cookie could have been like, let's say it was 500 calories. That must be a really freaking huge cookie. But he still has 3,000 calories of a deficit left that week. That's not gonna make any difference. Maybe you're not gonna lose a pound that week. Maybe you're just gonna lose a little bit less. Yeah, boo-hoo, right? Not a big difference. And the problem is when that one cookie turns into 3-4 extra bags that day, and ice cream on top of that, and everything else on top of that, which is a lot of that emotional stuff that is going on in your head now. Oh my God, I feel bad, I'm worthless. You identify yourself with what you eat, and all of a sudden it just turned into a massive problem. And then you feel bad next day and you want to eat nothing because you want to purge yourself, and then you turn into this vicious cycle because you're super hungry. Guess what? Of course, right? If you don't eat anything, what is going to happen? You're going to be super hungry. So this is the reason why I'm telling you guys this, is because you don't want something, and I mean, I'm not saying that binge eating is not a significant problem, but I'm just saying that the majority of people that I've encountered is they're very, very easy and very lightly identify themselves as having a binge eating disorder. You know, just one slip up, you know, they got super hungry, they ate more food, they ate 500 more calories, and all of a sudden, you know, oh, I have this binge eating disorder, it's like all terrible, like the world is ending. It doesn't happen overnight, you know, it doesn't happen that lightly. So keep as much emotion out of it as possible. If you're truly suffering from a binge eating disorder, definitely reach out to a specialist, you know, if it's been going on for a long time. If this is not helping, you know, if you already tried some of this stuff. But for most people, just day to day, you know, if you're just looking to get super lean, you know, you're just gonna get hungry at some point. You know, there are those days you just wake up and you wanna freaking eat a lot. And that is fine, right? Maybe that day you can go on maintenance calories, right? Maybe that day you can eat a little bit more and use that, okay, I borrowed 200-300 calories from the next day because it was just that kind of day. And guess what? There's also going to be days when you're not going to be as hungry. So it fluctuates. And what you want to do is detach your emotional self from it and look at it more rationally. Okay, on this weekly amount of calories that I have, let's say you're eating 2,000 calories on average per day, that's 14,000 per week. Guess what? You can manage those calories, maybe not every day 2,000, maybe one day it's 1,500, then the next day you can eat 2,500. You can manage them a little bit smarter. You can be smart with this. You can play around with it. You can put more on training days. You can put a training day on a weekend when you know that you're gonna eat a lot that night, so you can eat even more. Be smart with it. Detach yourself emotionally from it as much as possible. Manage your calories and think of it as more as like a budget that you have. So you don't wanna go and just spend all of it, you know, in one place. You wanna kind of manage it. You wanna be very smart with it. And that's gonna allow you that flexibility. Then when you have that flexibility, it's gonna make this very, very sustainable long term, right? Maybe one day you're gonna fast in the morning, right? And then because you fasted in the morning, now you have all of a sudden all those calories in the evening. That's a really good strategy. All of those strategies can work. But it's really up to us to be able to see those strategies, because when you get in that emotional state of mind, when your mind doesn't even work anymore because you're so stressed out, you can't even see any of those solutions. And I've been there many, many times. You know, like I fuck up and I just look at it, man, I don't see an exit, right? I don't see what's up. I don't see what's wrong. I can't even see these obvious solutions that are just in front of my eyes, and I just can't see them. That's where you don't want to end up, because even the obvious won't be there for you, won't even be able to do the obvious. So that's it, guys. So that's what I share with you. That's all the time we got for this video. We're here in awesome Sofia. It's really cool. Getting some good sun. It's pretty warm here as well. My gym is just around the corner as well. I'm gonna hit a workout soon. I just want to talk to you guys a bit about this very, very important topic, and I'd love to hear from you as well in the comments below. What do you think? What is this solution? What has helped you the most when it comes to binge eating, when it comes to just cutting it in the roots as soon as it starts happening, just cut it and continue? What has helped you to deal with this the most? Share it in comments below with me and with the community. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you find this video helpful. Subscribe to get more videos like these on fat loss, gaining muscle, getting shredded, being that beast in the gym. There's gonna be a lot of good stuff coming your way, so make sure to subscribe. Aside from that, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.